All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Definitely appreciate you guys watching. We're going to talk about some firearm drills, some of the shooting drills. Nick been doing a lot of training, so he wanted to share a couple of things with you guys. So, Nick, what's going on, man?
How's it going, man?
Good.
I'm busy tweeting you. This is so much fun. I can finally connect with you more. I feel special being able to let into your secret circle on Twitter.
On
So
Twitter.
everybody out there needs to tweet JH6 and do like hashtag secret circle or something.
Please teach me how to use hashtags, man, because I'm still trying to learn. So again, we're gonna continue to be working that. God knows, maybe in the future I go into another social media, but a lot of you guys ask me for, and the reality is that the YouTube comments sucks, man, big time. We know that. So it's nice to have a place where you can share pictures and things like that, other than Google Plus, and we don't get erased or something because they hate guns. So. But anyways, all right. So let's talk about this, man. You've been doing a lot of training lately. You want to talk about some of those things? Go ahead, kick it, man.
Yeah, so we're talking about some drills you guys can do at the range. I would say most of these will be 50 rounds or less. Not all of us can go to the range and burn through 500, 1,000 rounds in a couple hours because, I mean, that's expensive. I mean, biggest thing for me is when I get to the range, I like to do cold shooting. So, no warm-ups, and then I go do my little drill. It's 25, or sometimes, depending what range I'm at, it could be a different distance. Sometimes it's at 100. But I like to shoot longer distances cold. So whether it be 25 yards or even 100 yards sometimes, which I know that's slightly unrealistic, but it's shoot 100 yards, and that we're talking about trigger control, sight alignment, sight picture. I mean, those have to be dead on. But 25 yards is a good way to work on those fundamentals. So I might shoot just a mag, 17, 18 rounds, whatever I have in the gun at the time, and work those fundamentals. No time restrictions. I'm going for the absolute best group that I can shoot at 25 yards with no time limit. Because again, I just want to work those fundamentals.
Got it. So what's this thing again?
25 yards. Okay. Sometimes if there's a different range and there's like a steel target out there, then obviously I'm not exactly worried too much about group size, even though obviously shooting accurate is important. So there's sometimes I'll do it at 100, and sometimes it's just fun to shoot at 100 yards with a handgun.
I've never done that, man. I love to do that. That's a long way, man.
Yeah, it's fun.
Pistol.
But yeah, usually it's 25 yards cold, no time limit, no time restrictions, and work the fundamentals cold.
Yeah, well, we were talking about this because at 25 yards, anything that if you don't apply the fundamentals, you're gonna have issues. You're gonna have issues hitting the target. I mean, obviously, in a confrontation, most likely it's gonna be at a close distance. We have talked about that in concealed carry, all that. But if you don't know how to apply the fundamentals, you can't go into the next step. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the key to me. You need to know the fundamentals before you go into an advanced shooting or trainings where you actually seeking cover, walking or running and shooting and things like that. I mean, first you need to know the fundamentals, and at 25 yards you can learn those fundamentals very, very good, because you got to apply good trigger control, sight picture, all that stuff has to be applied at that distance. So I totally agree with you, man.
And for those of you curious, and again, I'm not saying I can't shoot this yet, but for most people that I talk to and shoot with, all shots at 25 yards should be in an 8-inch circle.
Yeah.
So that's the standard I set for myself. I am not there yet, but again, that's why we go practice this stuff. So 8-inch circle, 25 yards, all my shots should be in it.
No doubt. That's what the Marine Corps qualification core is. You shoot, well, one of the stages is 25 yards. You shoot 10 rounds, and can't remember how much time you get, maybe like 10 minutes or something like that. So it allows you to take your time and apply those fundamentals before you go into the 7, 15 and things like that. So now talking about drills, man, after passing those fundamentals, after doing that, the next step, doing some drills. What's some of the good drills you've been doing out there in training?
A lot of the drill will work malfunctions. Malfunctions are because I mean they don't happen all that often, but I think back to our second shoot house classes here, Jesse was running that, and he had some, I don't know, junky ammo stuff, and he kept having issues. So it was also one of those things of, in the shoot house class we had, you have to wear plate carriers because, insurance and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But he had a malfunction. He ended up just dumping his mag, reloading, and going. Well, what happens, and this was at Steve Fisher Central Concepts Cops. He's like, okay, in the night, if you get up, what are you going to grab? He's like, okay, I'm going to grab my gun. He's like, are you going to grab your spare mag? And he's like, no. He's like, okay, well, what would have happened if you had a malfunction and you didn't have a spare mag? So that's one of those things to think about is, at the range, if you don't go into some sort of immediate action on your malfunctions, whatever it might be, you need to work on those, because what happens if they happen at home? You don't have time to go to a range bag and grab another mag or just call it good and, gun, it needs cleaned or whatever. Working on those, and there's different ways to do that. Snap caps. Right. We'll have a video coming out about selecting the right snap caps for longevity, because there's some cheap ones that don't last that long.
Yeah.
But work in some fundamentals, and if you can, and work them in dry fire as well. A easy drill would be to draw out, present, again, go slow, work on the fundamentals, draw out, dry fire, click. So obviously no bang, nothing happens. So you're going to go to immediate action, tap, rack, it locks to the back. So then do a quick mag change, emergency reload, go forward, and then dry fire again. That's a really easy thing to do. You can work on fundamentals, and then also do that drill without a mag. Without a spare mag, to where you're working on getting those fundamentals in of clearing and going back with just one magazine.
Yeah. So you could pretty much do, there's a ton of drills out there that you could just search here in the community. There's a ton of drills. The point is that there's a ton of drills that you could do that you don't really have to pay money.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really have to go nowhere. All you have to do is dedicate a little bit of your time. Like the video that you guys just put out. Excellent video where, you guys are showing how to, draw your gun, present your gun, and pretty much what you're talking about. You could follow those instructions, and you could do a little bit of training, and then you could do your practice, and you don't have to pay any money. So essentially, if you have a will to learn, you could find good information out there. And I know we talked about in the past about how much does it cost and all that, but there's things out there to be learned, man. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of my point with that. So
yeah. What drills do you usually do?
Well, I guess the Marine Corps hit me so hard with some things to do that I stay like that. But essentially, some of the things like drawing your pistol and presenting your pistol, that's definitely good to do. Reholster, we have talked about reholstering your pistol. And when it comes down to actually shooting, I like to do this drill a lot, which is kind of like a hammer pair. There we go. I kind of forgot the name. I'm sorry. Which again, you have one side picture, but you shoot 2 rounds. So you present your gun. You're looking through that front side pose. You pull the trigger. You obviously on the first round you're aiming pretty well, and then you pull it again. So you do it twice. So essentially, you should be at the point where the first round should be hitting the point of aim where you're aiming to. The second round should be hitting maybe an inch to the right, an inch to the left, but they should be in the same 4-inch circle, because it's supposed to be really fast. So again, one side picture, 2 trigger pull. That's something that I like to practice a lot. I was doing that with the MMP 45. I posted a video on the channel, and it seems to work pretty well. Because again, if you want to stop a thread, a 45 would do it. Definitely, we're gonna go into 9mm versus 45. 45 is better.
45 would put a hole through the earth.
Yeah, but it's better 2 rounds coming your way than 1 round. But again, that's one of the drills that I practice, and again, that kind of beat up on me from the Marine Corps. You got your standard failure to stop drill where you shoot 2 rounds to the chest, 1 round to the head. We done a lot of practice with that drill, but I'm not really too happy with that, because the head is a small part of your body, man. So again, obviously supposed to be there for somebody wearing armor or something like that. That's what you're going for. So obviously you won't have a chance. You won't have any other choice that engage in the head, because the guy supposed to be having some type of armor. But again, I just prefer to shoot center mass versus a little spot. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But again, that drill has a purpose.
Yeah, well, and here's something too you can do when you're out, if you're out shooting and working some stuff is, I mean, when we kind of go through this, we get this question before, like, well, when you do a headshot or body shot or headshot, you pick by proximity, so what's available, and something too we talk about like center mass. We think of center of chest. However, in defensive shooting, center of mass is aiming for the largest available spot on your target. So, set up some targets differently. Like I'm not just saying a hostage situation, but tie the target behind a target with parts sticking out or something to where you work what's available to you. So if there's just a foot sticking out and I'm in a self-defense situation, what am I going to do? I'm going to work that foot.
Yeah.
Or if I got the shoulder, an arm, a head, or whatever, I'm going to work that until I can work something else.
Yeah.
So that's something to think about too, is change up your target styles.
Yeah. I love how you put that out, man. That was pretty good information. I love how you put it out. That's good.
Thank you.
But again, it's exactly. You have to go out there and practice your drills. I mean, what are you going to do? And something good that you want to do. I was actually talking to little brother about this the other day. Write down what you want to do before you go to the range. Today Absolutely. I'm going to practice. Today I'm going to practice on drawing your pistol, presenting my pistol, and using a hammer pair. So again, obviously some rangers won't let you do that. Obviously, you're gonna have to have some type of safety implemented to make sure you don't shoot yourself, because that happens. So you got to be smart about this. But again, I'm at the range. I'm drawing my pistol. I'm presenting my my pistol to the target. I'm using a hammer pair. I'm using a follow stop drill. I'm shooting one well aimed shot. I mean, whatever it is, that drill, write it down and go to the range and practice that to create that muscle memory. So that's my point with that, man. You got anything else?
No, get out and practice. I mean, there's tons of things you can look up to do. I want to say there's a bunch of targets too at Pistol. I think it's pistol-training.com. Yeah. So they have printable 8.5 by 11 targets there. So if you're looking for some different targets, look up a dot torture test drill. That's a great one. But if you go to their website and you click on drills, then down below it, there's just tons of different sorts of targets that you can print out and take with you.
Yeah, I like actually I did that. I have done that dot torture target in the past, where you have all those circles everywhere, and then somebody else called different numbers and you have to engage the different numbers. That's actually pretty good and kind of difficult to do in a way, because you actually got to look for the number. So yeah, man, good info. I really appreciate everybody watching. Go out there and do some training. Go out there, write down what you're gonna do, hit the range and do it, and get better at it. I got to tell you, the first couple of times it's going to be kind of weird, but do it by the numbers. Don't go there. Don't go to the range and want to be a full ninja operator from day one. Don't do that. Do it by the numbers, nice and slow.
Be accountable for every round you shoot.
Yeah, nice and slow. Once you get that, then go to the next step. Start putting some speed, and then continue into you doing to that full potential. But there's nothing wrong with going out there and doing nice and slow and starting from zero. We all got to start from zero,
Speed is a byproduct of smoothness.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. If you trying to train, if you trying to practice, and you're doing a run, I know we talked about this. You're not doing anything. You're not getting any training. If you go into the only thing that you're going to do is, first of all, the possibility of you shooting yourself because you're being unsafe. And then the fact that you're wasting all your rounds because you're not getting any legitimate training out of what you're trying to accomplish. So you got to have a mission. What is your mission? Your mission is to accomplish training. Okay, how am I going to do that? I got to start at zero, then step 1, step 3, step 4, and finally I make it to the glorious step 5, and I'm a full-on, cool dude, whatever. But that's the point that I'm trying to make there. So, again, anything else, Nick?
Nope. Get out there and try it out.
Yeah. Anything going on? When is your shows again? I forgot.
Every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Central. That was a good one, though. You tried.
I'm
Wednesday.
I'm your biggest fan, man. I watch all your shows. Well, at least when I go work out or something, I watch your show and share your stuff.
Well, thank you.
Now I can share on Twitter.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Hashtag secret circle. Right. That was what you need to do. But no, if you guys want to swing on by Practically Tactical and check out some more videos.
Cool. All right, links are going to be down below as always, guys. I appreciate the support. Like this video if you like this type of video. Subscribe to the channel, share the videos, and God is in control.